no means this does not diminish anybody else that's been on the show, but I've waited for this guy to call in for a while. Big up yourself, Sal. What's going on, brother? Well, go on. Let me put some.
Go on. What's going on, Joe, the legend? What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Oh, the legend, fam. What's going on? Let's stop this. You've been doing this a long time. Yeah, you've been doing longer than me. You've been in this YouTube space before I even know YouTube was YouTube. So
yeah, man, I'm only 19. Look at me, bruv. It's mad, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Look at you. You get a fresh face. Now, what time is it where you are, by the way?
It's like 3 hours ahead of you. I haven't got my phone on me, so it's like about 3 hours. I think it's like 3:26, something like that.
Okay, damn.
But
Okay,
it's hot.
So
it's hot outside, man.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. England's got that fake sun going on where there's sun outside, but it's not particularly warm, if you understand what I mean. Yeah. So
I miss those days, man. I miss those days, bro. What's going on?
Nothing, bro. I'm discussing Mason Mount. I'm discussing Marcus Rashford. I'm discussing these frauds in yours. Like, you know what? To be honest, what do you want to discuss? Yeah, because I know that you have your shows in the morning and stuff like that, and you're always talking about who the real frauds are at this club, yeah? But I said something on your chat the other day about Amorim, yeah?
Yeah.
And how much time. I said that I don't believe in him. Said I don't believe in Amorim, yeah? And he has to prove to me why I should believe in him, yeah? Do you think I'm wrong for saying that? And if so, why? Please.
I mean, look, you look at next season. If we get to next season, this time next season, and we're 13th, 14th in the league, then you're going to say, do you know what? Maybe it's not quite working out, isn't it? You know what I mean? But I'm looking at the top. I'm looking at the top. That's what I'm looking at. I just don't think anyone can come into this football club and change it. You know, when you start getting that feeling, that negative feeling when the manager, you know, and comes in, you always got that negative feeling these days that it's not going to go well. You know, it's going to end up falling flat on your face.
I'm not going to lie, Sal. I don't get negative feelings like that, yeah? Do you know what, yeah? I actually have a positive feeling when we manage a change, yeah? And it's not like a good thing because we shouldn't always feel positive when a manager change because it means that something has failed again. But I had a good feeling about Amorim. He's made the feeling disappear. I'm not going to lie to you. He's made the feeling disappear. Everybody knows how I felt about Ten Hag in it, THDO, all that. I rolled out. I was ride or die. But I think my feelings faded real quick for this manager, especially because of how everybody else was going on about him. I felt like when I first said something about him, people said, "Nah, Joe, don't say nothing about him. How dare you? How dare you? The manager's the man. He's done nothing wrong." I'm like, what do you mean? You shut up and you shut up. I'm gonna say whatever I want about anybody. No, but it's true though, because face it, don't you think that he's done a lot wrong since he's been here? And it's like I can't say he's done nothing wrong because
I think you're walking into like a derelict building, innit? And you walk into the derelict building and everything is everywhere. Do you know what I mean? And my biggest concern is this, right? He's been there 5 months. You couldn't build a Tesco Metro in 5 months, bro. You know what I mean? 5 months trying to fix a broken football club. You know what I mean? The biggest football club in the world, 5 months, and then we want him out. Get him out of my club. Look, I'm not saying, look, I have no affiliation with Ruben Amorim. Do you know what I mean? I just care about Man United at the end. I just want a successful football team. I'm tired. I feel like it was yesterday when we were talking about Ten Hag, bro. You know what I mean? I feel like yesterday we were talking about Ten Hag out. Do you know what I mean? I've just recovered from that, and now we got Ten Hag. You know, maybe he's not that guy, bro. Luis Enrique could come to this football club. Hansi Flick, Nagelsmann will be. Look, it might be slightly different here and there. It's a bit like Sean Dyche, isn't it? When he said, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to win more games. I'll win more games than Ruben Amorim." Of course you will, because you're a survival manager. You'll win a few games here and there. But what Ruben Amorim's trying to do, he's trying to change a culture at the football club, which has been dead for 13 years, bro. 13 years this culture's been dead. We haven't challenged for the league. So why haven't we challenged for the league? Because we don't see the projects out. We don't finish the projects. You know what I mean? Now, if he gets the next season, bro, and we're like December, I'm not even giving it that long. I'm saying December and we're like 14th. I have no leg to stand on. I will come on your show and say, look, you know what? He's not the guy. I was wrong. You know what I mean? This is all about Man United.
Sal, I don't even want that. Yeah, this is the thing, because it feels like people think that I want people to hold corn, like for their opinion. No, I just want people to stop giving me corn for my opinion, if I'm being honest with you, yeah? Because I just think that if you're gonna say you can see that there's nothing really there. Yeah, a lot of people when I'm speaking to them there, they've got no real point to say, oh, this is why I should believe, this is why I can believe. The only thing that they say to me is, oh, because he hasn't had the preseason and he hasn't had the players in and the players are shit. Those is everybody's reasons why I should believe and give the manager time. But there's no reasons they're telling me that, oh, he's a good manager. Oh, he's this and he's that. What have you seen apart from his previous work? But we've had a lot of managers with previous work come in here and it just don't work. Previous work doesn't mean that you're going to do good at Man United, does it?
What I've seen, and I'll tell you what it is, yeah, and it reminds me of back in the day of Alex Ferguson. What I've seen a certain characteristics in games, especially in Europa League, like when we're 4-2 down and, 1-0 down against Athletic Bilbao and managing to come back through in-game management like the Atletico Madrid game. That for me, Athletic Bilbao game, that for me, it shows me something, a spark, a glimpse of what he can possibly do. Let's not lie. He totally changed that Athletic Bilbao game. You know what I mean? And he's managed to get us there. I think under Ten Hag, we probably wouldn't have got to the Europa League final. The way we were going, drawn 3 games in a row at the beginning, and then, you know what I mean, Ruben Amorim coming in and still undefeated. I mean, and people like to underestimate Athletic Bilbao, 4th best team in Spain. You know what I mean? Real Sociedad was supposed to cook us. Lyon was supposed to cook us. And he's beating all those teams. And when you think about Athletic Bilbao, let's be honest, guys. Everyone thought it was the end of the road for Man United. We're going to lose to Athletic Bilbao. They're too good. And we actually 7-1 on aggregate. And you know what? It's not about playing well. A sign of a great team is a team that can win without playing well. And we've got that. But these players, you know what, are not the guy. They're not the players to take Man United forward. I don't think so. I think I would only keep 8 or 9 of those players. And then obviously 10 more players we need for a full squad. So it's not going to happen, is it? But what I want to see, guys, because we know that he's not going to sign 10 players in the summer. We know that. And he shouldn't do, really. He shouldn't have to sign 10 players to improve, right? What it should be 5 or 6 players. If they get into the team, if there's no improvement, then we can start saying, but well, you know what I mean? It's not really working out. But I can see signs in the play in certain things and stuff, the characteristics of the manager, the never say die attitude. The problem is we can't translate that never say die attitude into the Premier League. When we go 1-0 down, you might as well just go home because we're not going to come back. Do you know what I mean? And that is the only thing that concerns me about the Europa League final. If we go 1-0 down, we might as well pack up back to London. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully it won't.
I don't think so, though. I have an honest feeling that it doesn't even matter if we go 1-0 down. We ain't going to lose to Tottenham. It's just because Manchester United, isn't it? Yeah. Can't lie. It's not all because we're Manchester United. No, it's because of these fraudulent players. That's what I'm going to call them. Let me not swear. These fraudulent players, yeah, is the reason why I believe we won't lose. And you know what? They turn up when they need to turn up, and that's the annoying thing about it. It's the thing where when we played Bilbao, slapped them up, and then we come back home and get slapped up by Newcastle. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I tell you what, we're not turning up. And Manchester United players. And the Varane interview is what really alludes to the point for me, because it's like they just told you that basically we said that we're going to pull up on this final and we're going to beat Man City and we're going to do everything we can do because we care about this. So what about the rest of the blood clot season? What about the rest of the season? Why can't you guys do that consistently, consecutively for Manchester United week in, week out? It's because they don't care, bro. You know what's motivating them right now, isn't it? Getting back into that Champions League, yeah, and getting that paycheck. A lot of them have got that paycheck coming if they do well.
But be honest with yourself. You look at the mentality of Man United, the culture at Man United. You just need to look at Luke Shaw. If someone's telling me that guy is fit, I mean, they're lying, bro. That guy is not fit. You can tell by just look at him. He's not fit. He's overweight. I don't like to fat shame, but the guy gets paid 200 grand a week to go to the gym, for goodness sake, and he can't keep himself fit. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, these guys play when they want to play. You know, Mason Mount, forget Mason Mount. He's done. I never wanted him in the first place. I thought he was overrated a little bit. He had a pelvis injury, which we should have looked at. And, with pelvis injuries, you're going to get a knock-on effect with the pelvis injury. So there's going to be more injuries going ahead. You know what I mean? So that's why I thought, you know what? Mason Mount, he's just a little bit, about Mason Mount, he lacks something. I mean, a little bit of naughtiness, you know what I mean? It adds something to it. But with Mason Mount, you know what I mean? I'll give it, I don't know. I think I'll just cash in. Ruben Amorim's a silent assassin. He will say that he likes a player, he loves a player, and he'll get rid of them. That's what Ruben Amorim did at Sporting Lisbon. 25 players went out the door, you know. So I just don't think he has any choice. If he starts slagging Mason Mount off, he's going to underperform in the Europa League final. Do you know what I mean?
I think he loves Mount. He loves Mount, and if they get rid of Mount, it's a more of an executive decision than his. That's what I believe.
I think it's a Ten Hag signing. That one. That was definitely a Ten Hag signing. That one. He
loves
Ten Hag
Mount. Doesn't mean he don't like him. Do you get me?
I think Mount's a good squad player, and that's it. I don't think Mount's going to get us to the levels that we want to get to. Do you know what I mean? I think we've got a lot of players there that, you know, shouldn't be at the football club, to be honest with you. You're looking at it now and you think, look at the 16th place. And this is exactly what it is, the 16th place. These players, we're becoming Tottenham, bruv. And I hate to say that because Tottenham could beat anyone on their day. You know, so can we. But we can lose to anyone on our day as well. Do you know what I mean? And we need to eradicate that mentality out of our football club, because 16th, 17th, no one should be safe at that football club. No one. Imagine we were Real Madrid or Barcelona. Imagine we were Real Madrid or Barcelona.
The manager wouldn't be here. The manager,
the players they wouldn't have Lindelof.
Oh, listen, I could never imagine Real Madrid sitting 17th. Imagine what would happen. They would rip. You know when Flex says rip up the whole thing? Yeah, they would literally rip up the whole thing and start.
What they'll have a structure in place for Ruben Amorim to succeed. We don't have a structure in place for Ruben Amorim. We brought Ruben Amorim in with a distinct style of play, complete hipster manager, you know, with no players of his, you know, who've never played that system before, you know, and proven what a low IQ they can be. Because I remember Zinedine Zidane playing in various positions and stuff like that. They just got a low IQ, do you know what I mean? And they can't play football. If he went to Real Madrid will ensure that he has the players ready there. They'll ensure that the structure is there for him to succeed. Now, we brought him in, as I said, in a derelict building. You know, it's nothing there. And asked him, right, in 5 months, this big hospital, which is derelict, you got to make it into the next St. George's Hospital, mate. That's what I want. You know what I mean? It's got to be like that, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's what they're saying, and they know it. And it's Ineos, man, because even if we didn't get Ruben Amorim, even if we got someone else, you know what I mean? It's Ineos. They're playing a trick, man. This is a trick. You know what I mean? So at the end of the season, we're going to take the pressure off them. And I guarantee if we lose the Europa League final, watch Cunha come through the door on Thursday. You know what I mean? It's going to be like that. Oh, the positivity. Look at Ruben. Look at Ineos. Look at Ineos now. You know?
Ineos. Yeah, you're right. They're just trying to, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I've got a feeling that this Cunha deal was basically done. Why has it not been announced yet? Like, how much times can we hear close? Bro, I'm not edging, fam. I'm not trying to be close forever, fam. Yeah? I'm not trying, nah, bro. I feel like Manchester United, like you said, they're holding these kind of situations back to just keep it as a cat in the bag. Do you know what I mean? So they can release it at any point they want to, like you just said. Because I can't imagine this Cunha deal not being done. It must be.
We're the only club, bro. Look at Liverpool showing us up again. Look, they get Frimpong. You know, they've almost got the deal done. Arsenal, here we go on Zubamendi. They're going to get Gutierrez most likely. You know, we're embarrassing, man. We're embarrassing. And I knew it. We knew it, you know, before they came in that this was going to happen. We knew it. We needed a full sale. Look, we didn't make the rules in the Premier League. The Premier League have forced us into this kind of sugar daddy ownership, isn't it? You know what I mean? We have no choice. If we want to get somewhere, we need billionaires. We need rich. Jim Ratcliffe is asset rich. He's not rich for me. I mean, cutting back, not even paying for tickets to the Europa League final for his staff. Amorim, even I can afford to go to the Europa League final. Why can't Sir Jim Ratcliffe? I'm not a billionaire like he is. You know what I mean? And, you know, Ruben Amorim paying for 30 staff and 2 members of family to go to the Europa League final. But Jim Ratcliffe can't pay for one ticket. You know what I mean? It's disgusting, man. Honest to God, we're being taken for a ride.
Where the levels and the mindset of our club is at right now. Yeah, we'd rather cut dinner ladies and stuff that have no
mortgages, poor people.
Whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
he's the modern day Oliver Twist. Please, sir, can I have some more, sir? That's Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Do you know what I mean? He's the modern day Oliver Twist. He walks around with a grimace. You know what I mean? He looks like, you know, he looks down on people and stuff like that. Man, I never liked that guy. When he walked into Old Trafford, you know what I mean, with one of those old packed lunch boxes and like, it just looked like it looked like he was just going to see his cousin or whatever, you know, for a big ginormous meeting. And then you saw Qatar coming in their suits and stuff like that. And then, you know, there you go. But, you know, if I talk, I'll be in trouble.
It was in the bag, bro. I'm telling you this right now, yeah. So Jim always knew it was in the bag. Yeah, he had it unlocked. He had it unlocked from a long time. And what I mean by that is he already knew that he has spoken to the Glazers and them man were brethren, and this was all just formalities that they had to do. Simple. Because the way everybody